The following podcast contains spoilers for Much Ado About Nothing. It's not the Shakespearean one, but a Chilean one that is not really called Much Ado About Nothing. That is the English title. Who knows why? But anyway, you have been warned!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of KFR News Radio. This is your host, Glenjamin Budd, along with your host, Miguel Magusto.
Hello there.
Hello, sir, you scantilous-clad sir.
How you doing?
I don't know what I'm saying. I worked today. I worked harder today than I have my whole last year.
You have officially worked more than me in the past 2 weeks, actually.
Holy crap.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we rushed to the hospital, and
then
I threw Caitlin out of the car, and
John C. Reilly popped out.
And John C. Reilly. Yeah, I wish he popped out. It was more of like
Can you imagine? I would be actually scared for you guys.
But anyway, what have you been up to this week? Have you watched anything worthy of discussing?
I've watched 2 movies, and I finished a show that I'm very, very content with, and actually I plugged last week.
Castlevania?
Actually.
No.
It was that key issues thing about it, like Invincible.
Yes.
So the season finale of Invincible hit last Friday, and dear God Almighty, did I absolutely love it so much that I pretty much almost rewatched the whole season over again right after I watched that episode.
I love it when that happens.
It's so as like somebody who loves superheroes and stuff like this. The show is actually pretty genuine and like crazy. Genuine in the relationships until they don't turn genuine, and the show's chaotic. And some things happen that I don't want to spoil, so I'll say, after that, I watched Stowaway. I almost said Castaway, but that's completely not that movie.
Yeah.
And we will talk about that when you talk about it. And then I watched Garden State.
Oh, you said 2 movies. That is... you said a show. That's right. Okay.
There you
Scratch that. Still slightly baby-brained, but...
Yes, it's okay, my brother.
Yes.
It's Garden State directed by Zach Braff, starring Zach Braff, and also, I believe, produced by Zach Braff. It's got Natalie Portman. It was an enjoyable movie. I didn't go, head over heels for it. But I had fun with it. It was cool.
That's a film that it was very much of its time, and it has not aged incredibly well. Not in the sense that it's like problematic.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's a whiny white guy essentially.
Pretty much.
And not to say that like his problems aren't valid, but it's not that interesting anymore.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy that movie. It's just
I wouldn't mind watching this again some point.
Yeah, it's very early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. And very, very young Natalie Portman, not like, Leon the Professional young or anything, but was actually did she like continue doing movies after Leon, or did she kind of come back?
No, she did
okay.
She did Leon, and then she did like there's time between the Star Wars movies.
Natalie Portman is probably one of like the best criers in the industry.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy to think about.
V for Vendetta alone, like right there. But yeah, Leon was 1994. Phantom Menace was 99, and she was in Mars Attacks in 96, Heat in 95. So yeah, she's been working pretty steadily since 94.
Good for her.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I think her longest break was after her Oscar win for Black Swan.
Yeah.
But I mean that's typical. A lot of people get tired of actresses for some reason after they win an Oscar. The industry's hard on women.
She's kind of been doing her own thing as well. Like
she has, yeah. She's been killing it.
But
honestly,
other than that, I haven't watched anything else, sadly.
So I watched 4 movies. Well, I hope you watched our movie we're discussing today.
Oh, no, I didn't. This is news to me. We're watching movies?
What movie were you texting me about last night that you said you were confused?
Yeah, no, I was confused because I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So I watched 4 movies, including our assignment this week. First one I watched is Stowaway. I watched it because we had done the director. What's his first name? I know it's
Joe Pena.
Joe Pena or Pena, however you pronounce it. I don't know if he has the little squiggle. And yet, I think it is called. Yeah, so we did Arctic, which was directed by him. So I watched Stowaway. Also, because I saw you watch Stowaway. It is almost an amazing film.
Yeah.
But it just kind of falls short of that and is just kind of good.
Yeah, it's
Not like ground shakingly good, but just like, oh yeah, that was good.
It definitely had you with the characters in the first half for sure, and then throws a little twist at you, and then like you're like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see the way this movie might be going, and then it doesn't, and not necessarily in a bad way, but not really in like a good way either.
Yeah. I am glad that it never a little slight spoilers, but nothing too heavy. I'm glad that it never came to be like they were physically fighting over something.
Yeah.
It was always just like, this is our problem, we need to tackle it. This sucks. It was never like the thriller that you see. It was like, oh, where's he hiding?
Yeah.
We got to find him so he doesn't kill us and stuff like that. It just stayed very scientific, for lack of a better word. Just, this is what needs to happen. What are our solutions?
Mm-hmm. And as you had texted to me at a certain point, you were like, the sound design in this is crazy. I'm like, yes, it is. Joe Pena is known for his sound on YouTube for sure.
Yeah, I texted that to you in the first like 2 minutes because it was the launch scene, and the launch scene with surround sound is just amazing. So,
I can imagine for sure.
But yeah, Stowaway, I really, I don't want to say I really enjoyed it. I almost really enjoyed it, but just ultimately enjoyed it.
What was crazy about watching this too is in the middle of it, I realized who Daniel Day Kim had played in like a video game that I played growing up, and I was like, what the fuck? My mind was just blown. I always liked David Day Kim. I wish he was in more stuff for sure that we watched on a regular basis. I know he's in like a couple Hawaii Five-0 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But I wish he was in more movies. And then like knowing that he played Gat in the Saints Row series, I was like, and I discreetly melted into a puddle.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Stowaway. Then I watched Much Ado About Nothing, the film we're going to discuss shortly.
Not the Shakespearean one.
Not the Shakespearean one. No. I have had too much Shakespeare for the year with Titus and everything. So then I watched Midnight Run, which is a bounty hunter comedy movie with Robert De Niro and the guy who plays the dad in the Beethoven movies. I forget his name. Let's see. His name is Charles Grodin, I believe. That's him.
Maybe.
Yeah, Charles Grodin or Grodin. And I really enjoyed this movie. It was nice. It was a nice little comedy that could have not been nice little comedy. Robert De Niro is really good in it. Charles Grodin, they have a really good chemistry together. They play off of each other really well, and I highly suggest Midnight Run.
All right.
Yeah, from 1988. Great movie. Then I watched a new Netflix animated movie called The Mitchells versus the Machines. This is by Lord and Miller, who did the Lego movie, I believe.
I had never even heard of this.
It was supposed to come out in theaters like back last November or something. Of course, we know that never happened.
Yeah.
Then Netflix bought it up, or maybe like Netflix had produced it and then just kind of gave up on waiting to put it in theaters.
Maybe.
It might also be in theaters right now. I don't know. It's just not in theaters near us. It's on Netflix. It's got the voices of Danny McBride, Abby Jacobson from Broad City, Maya Rudolph. Eric Andre is also in there. Olivia Colman plays like a Siri type phone thing. It's just a family animated film about the end of the world via robots.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's like okay. No, I remember this now. My mind, again, is melted.
The animation style is incredible. I really, really like the animation style. It's 3D animation, but it's like textured to look like somewhat claymation in a way, even though it's not claymation. It's hard to explain because it doesn't look like claymation either. It's just its own thing, but it looks like you can reach out and grab it. That's how well textured it is.
Okay.
And the 3D effect on that. It would have been like, I'm not a huge fan of 3D movies, but this would have been cool to see in 3D, I feel.
Yeah.
It has its time and place, 3D. But that's all I watched this week. So let's get into some news. My news for this week: Quentin Tarantino's new Beverly Cinema sets to reopen on June 1st, I believe it is. Yep, June 1st.
Ooh.
Quentin Tarantino's theater that he owns called Beverly Cinema in Los Angeles is going to be opening June 1st. This is a huge deal for Los Angeles, the theater scene there, especially after they just had like the Arc Light theaters close and all that. Hoping that someone buys the Cinerama that closed. Hoping it's Quentin Tarantino because I feel like he would do a good job at running that and maintaining that. But yeah, Beverly Cinema in Los Angeles, owned by Quentin Tarantino, is opening June 1st. And their marquee says reopening June 1st, 2021 because we love showing movies. And that is just lovely to see.
That is very, very wholesome in my heart.
Yeah.
What the hell was I about to say? I feel like I was like in my mind for some reason. This is the first time this has happened this whole last year of me being quarantined, is where like I don't realize what like day it is and like, where we are. I'm like, June, that's pretty far away. And then I was like, no, it's not at all.
It's in less than a month.
Yeah, it's literally real close.
Yeah.
So I kind of now who's got the baby brain now? It's me.
Yeah.
All right. My news is going to be the MCU Universe Phase 4 lineup. So they dropped a little trailer, and they just kind of went out with a little bang here of what they're showing off, of what they've got for the whole Phase 4 little thingamajig, raking up all the way probably either to 2023 or 2024. And here's the lineup. Obviously, we've got Black Widow, which has just been sitting in limbo for who knows how long, waiting to be released in theaters. I just said limbo. Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, The Marvels, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which is an interesting title, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then Fantastic Four. So, there's the whole lineup we got there.
If it's not Fantastic Four starring the It's Always Sunny cast, then I don't care.
Yeah, I'm kind of really hoping that it is now, to be honest.
That's something Ryan Reynolds pitched.
I mean, it's kind of perfect, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
it
for
really
a while
is.
there, I was like, yeah,
Dennis
give me
would be Doctor Doom.
Yep.
Mac would be Mr. Fantastic. Charlie would be, I think, was it the Human Torch? Not Elastigirl. What's Jessica Alba's character in the original? The only female
Invisible
character,
Girl.
Invisible Girl. Yeah, that would be Sweet D, and then Frank would be
Yep.
the Thing. It's perfect, honestly, and I'm bummed it won't happen. Those movies, I will see probably all of them, but I am excited, like really excited for 0 of them. So yeah, it's
There was 2 things that were actually kind of pointed out to me in this list. Well, the first thing's kind of a given. Ryan Coogler has gone on to state that he's going to respectively, pay homage to, Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's, that was already without a doubt. And then somebody brought up to me that Blade's not even on here. And that kind of blew my mind, to be honest.
Maybe because it'll probably be rated R, they don't want to advertise it with the MCU.
Maybe?
That's the only reason I could think. Because isn't Mahershala Ali supposed to play him?
Yeah, they already casted him. I feel like they really haven't done anything, at least in the news that I've seen. We just know that he's been casted as Blade.
Yeah. Also, I heard that Andrew Garfield was not called for Spider-Man No Way Home at all. So, contrary to rumors, it seems like he's not going to be in it.
Yeah, I feel like I did pass that too, but I thought it was like already said that he was casted already.
So did I, but you can't trust movie news, especially when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah, I never will again as well. Look at that.
And Tobey Maguire's not even on there, even though he's probably going to be in it because
Yeah, they already announced.
Doc Ock is going to be in it. The what's his name? God, why can't Alfred Molina?
Yeah,
Alfred Molina, he's in it. So it's but like to not include Andrew Garfield's like a huge middle finger to him. Like
especially since he was really giving it the Spider-Man feel in the second one. Like he was doing it.
I never understand like why people care so goddamn much about a character that they're like, that's not Spider-Man. Yeah, it's not.
In the first one, I can understand a little bit. Like, all right, they were pushing for him not being really nerdy and stuff like this.
Yeah,
but I mean, like he was like a model more than he was like a nerd. But like, in the second movie, he kind of redeemed himself very much in that movie.
Yeah, but also like, calm your tits, Marvel fans.
Come on now.
It's a movie. And
it wasn't even like him redeeming himself sort of thing. That's just how the character was written out. He just played it very well.
I will still stand by the fact that Gwen Stacy dying in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the single best Marvel moment ever in the history of Marvel cinema.
It's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, like, and you know why? Because death fucking mattered there. And if they bring Killmonger back for Black Panther Wakanda Forever...
Yep.
I will officially be done with Marvel. Like, believe it or not, I'm not done with Marvel. I just don't care about them.
Yeah, I really hope they don't.
If they bring Killmonger back and further prove that they don't give a shit about people dying, I'm fucking writing them off forever. Because his ending, his death was a beautiful moment of empathy between hero and villain. And if they just shrug that off and say, "Oh no, he's back," even if it's a prequel, "Oh, he's back," fuck you. No.
I've gone on to want his sister to be the new Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way.
Yeah,
I still think, like, obviously not this soon, but eventually they should recast the Black Panther, just because you have little black boys looking up to Black Panther for one movie where he's the lead, and then the Avengers movies, and then you're just gonna rip that away from them just to kind of pay homage to an actor who would want you to continue, probably.
Yeah.
Like, wait 5 years or something, but you got to eventually move on with a different actor. It's dumb, in my opinion, but like, I get why they're doing it for the second one.
Absolutely. Yeah. But other than that, that's kind of that news, that little whole lineup. They dropped a bunch of trailers in that lineup, so feel free to watch any of those on your own little viewings. But actually, I don't think they dropped teases, not trailers. I'm sorry, I might have lied about that just now. But regardless, that's it. Yep. Let's move on, shall we?
Let's move on to a review of Much Ado About Nothing.
¿Ustedes acompañan al cabo en el vehículo? ¿No siguen?
Manuel venía manejando.
Y afirman que usted venía manejando.
Eso es totalmente falso.
Por el delito de manejo en estado de ebriedad con resultado de muerte.
¿Pero qué pasó?
¿Tú sabes cómo sonó la pega?
Referente a las huellas dactilares del vehículo...
La verdad no es la verdad.
Vicente sí manejó ese auto.
Una verdad que te va a llevar directamente a la cárcel, weón.
Luego tomas malas decisiones.
No, yo no fui.
Tú no eres malo. O sea, eres medio ingenuo, te mandáis tus cagas, pero eres bueno.
Es probable que tú lo hayas pegado y que no te hayas dado cuenta.
Me tengo que ir.
Yo soy Gustavo Barría, el abogado de Manuel Larrea.
Yes. Much Ado About Nothing. Carefree college student Vicente ends up in a desperate fight for freedom when a well-connected friend falsely accuses him of a hit-and-run accident.
Ooh.
I tried to make that sound like a high school teen drama thing.
Stan Marsh. Vincente and Roxana. Anyway, directed by Alejandro Fernandez Almendras. It is written by Alejandro Fernandez Almendras and Geronimo Rodriguez, starring Augustine Silva, Paulina Garcia, Daniel Alcano, and Alejandro Goy. And it is a Chilean film that was produced in 2016. It showed in Sundance, and the Spanish title is Aquí no ha pasado nada, which means, I wrote it down, nothing happened here, I think is what it is. Damn, where did I write it?
Nothing happened there.
Yeah, Spanish title means nothing happened here, which I don't know why they didn't just go
why
with
is
that
the title this then?
Yeah,
What the hell?
Did they just want to like connect it to a Shakespearean comedy for some reason?
Maybe translation problems. What? That's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, So you came to me via Facebook Messenger
more than
and
once.
said, I am a confusion. I do not understand.
Yes.
Let's discuss this. Let's break this down.
My mind was a babble. All right, so for the most part, obviously, I was there. Kind of like Vicente. Sorry about the noise there. It was the ending that caught me off guard, because so I understand, like, he kind of talked him. Obviously, we're kind of going into spoilers way ahead of time. That the one guy, the Viper, whatever the fuck his name, it wasn't Viper, I'm just saying a funny name. The one dude, the lawyer guy, came to Vicente and was like, hey, you're fighting a battle you're not going to win. Just give up. And then, he seems to did or have done that. And then he went to court. He pleaded that he did hit the guy, yada, yada. And then... then he's at a party with those guys again and shit like that, and then he's like boyfriend and girl, maybe with that girl. What? These people, if these people, hear me out, if they just put me on the line saying I hit some fucking guy and I didn't, you bet your fucking ass those people aren't. I will find the most petty ways to ruin your rest of your life. If you got a hole in your sock, you bet your ass that was me. You got a flat tire? Congratulations.
Yeah.
I gave it to you.
So obviously the film starts with him partying with people he just met, which, to me just flags this would never happen to an introvert. Extroverts, you are 100% the cause of the world's problems. Wars, it's because you people want to socialize.
How dare
Famine,
you.
it's because you people want to socialize. Disease, we know that the COVID is still going because of extroverts, you fuckers. So yeah, extroverts are to blame for everything. This would never happen if Vicente was a introvert. But yeah. So Vicente goes to party with these people he just met. They drink and drive because
Teenagers.
Rich teenagers.
I don't even know if they're technically teenagers. They were going to college and stuff like that.
College kids.
they're
They
like
look really young.
early 20s.
Yeah, but they're all drinking and driving because they're all rich and nothing can touch them. One of them is a senator's son. Manuel is a senator's son. Which this is actually based off of an actual event that happened where a senator's son killed someone in a hit and run. They pinned it on a friend, or a friend agreed to have it pinned on him, and they all got off regardless of one of them having it pinned on them. So this is kind of in response to that. I feel like it probably has more weight in Chile where it happened than it does here. But yeah, it's the whole thing. You're absolutely right. We're like, especially if they were like lifelong friends, maybe I would consider forgiving them. But you just met these people. The first night you hang out with them, they try to pin a hit and run on you, and you're just gonna go back with them. Like it doesn't make any sense. And maybe it's like trying to say something of, if you play the game, you get a seat at the table kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have done a lot better job at showing that. Like, maybe if they presented Vicente with a good reason to do it, other than he would lose.
If they in any way, shape, or form talked to Vicente while any of this was going to... He had no communication with any of these people, basically.
None of them would talk to him.
Yeah, so... And even, like, then in the end, like, apparently they have their stories collaborated, and like he was the driver, yada yada. Like he had all the details down. So I guess he talked to them and was like, "Yo, I'll take the blame." That we didn't get to see that if it did happen.
Yeah, he was just bullied into it, but then forgave the bullies just because he got acquitted. Which if you don't know basic Spanish, was hard to realize that he got acquitted. Because on Netflix, they show that he's acquitted via a bunch of tweets that pop up.
Yeah, this is where I was confused.
None of it is translated in subtitles.
Not even in like the smallest little text of titles.
Yeah, there is one that had something similar to their names and then acquitted. It was enough where like even my dumbass who doesn't speak Spanish could be like, oh, okay, they were acquitted. And, you know, with them being rich, I kind of just assumed that would happen because the world's a fucking terrible place where, you know, rules don't apply to rich people. But yeah, the whole thing's really weird. And the entire time, like, there is nothing really to make you, other than the fact that he's being falsely accused, there's nothing really to make you feel for Vicente.
Yeah.
Vicente. It's all, he's kind of a dull, boring dude, and all he does is just like tweet and text people who either text him back or don't text him back, and just makes he's a basic bitch essentially. He's a basic bitch, and
he's charismatic with the ladies and some of his friends, but other than that, he's kind of just more or less dumb.
Yeah.
In a lot of situations.
Extremely naive, which they do say. They do say he's naive.
Yeah. He doesn't give all the information to prosecutors and stuff like that, which could have absolutely saved his ass.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that Italian film we watched, Happy as Lazzaro. Mm-hmm. But with Lazzaro, you knew something was wrong with him.
Yeah.
Like he had like Asperger's or something. With Vicente, it's just like, oh, he's a dumb rich dude who all he wants to do is drink, get high, and have sex. And has no personality traits whatsoever.
Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, he's just... There's no depth here. There's legitimately, the only reason you're on his side is because he's being falsely accused. And you see where he was when it happened, so there's zero doubt in your mind that he didn't do it. And I don't want to go so far as to say I didn't like this movie. I enjoyed it. I liked the movie, but
just hate the way it went more than hated the movie itself.
It's a very flat movie throughout the entire thing. There's no like peaks and valleys. There's no major events that happen. Even the partying scenes. Granted, I don't really like parties to begin with, but the partying scenes seemed kind of boring. It's just very flat. It's just. There's not much depth to any of it. It's a very basic story and plays as such.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hate it that probably as much as you did. I was actually enjoying it for the most part.
Well, no, I don't want to make it seem like
I didn't
like
mean to say hate. That was way too strong of a word for me to use. I liked it a little more than you did, at least during the beginning, and then it was just that end that really kind of killed it for me. I was like, all right, well, maybe he'll like, you know, get his shit together, and like, you know, maybe the reason he's talking to this girl that he's kind of just slamming in the like middle.
Who says that she's bored after giving him a blowjob? Then like, why did you give him a blowjob if you're bored?
Why are you with the guy? Why didn't you just say that you're bored with him? I don't know. I mean, cool. Dude got a sloppy toppy. Good for him.
You gave him a goodbye blowjob? Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
a weird thing.
I thought the point of him seeing her was to get, and this is like the thing with like, hey, I wish this went a different way. Is like I thought the point of talking to her was try to get closer to one of the friends, so you could. At least I thought that's the way that was going. Maybe I was wrong.
Or at the very least, give you a reason to root for him to not go to jail because he has this new budding relationship.
Yeah.
But then they just tear that away from you. After he comes, she's gone.
Yeah, and then.
Come and go.
Come and go, as you will. Yeah, like you had that. Obviously, I was like fucking pissed at the kids. I even texted you, like, these fucking kids.
Oh yeah, they're
and
the
also
worst.
the actor must have smoked at least 20 packs within the like first third of the movie. And I texted you that, like, Jesus, this man's a chimney. And like so like you got that, you got the the characters blaming the hit and run on this guy, and you're like, all right, that's enough motive. He's gonna get his shit together. He's gonna like kind of like investigate what the hell actually might have happened within these people. Maybe like swoon like the one girl into like getting some answers.
Yeah.
But no, he just kind of plays naive and dumb the whole time. Blasts a whole sedimentary seed inside of a woman, and then
After she explicitly multiple times says not to.
Said don't do it, and then he said, "Oh, I forgot."
Yeah, he's a fucking either a dumbass or a piece of shit or both.
And then it basically goes to the lawyer guy talking to him, and then he like gets to, hey, I did do that thing, that hit and run that I definitely didn't do. And then he's at a party with this group of friends that blamed him on this hit and run that just put him through hell the last probably couple months, I would assume. It shakes hands with the one dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's where I was confused. Like, now are you telling me he's that naive that he's hanging out with these people now again? What the hell?
Yeah. And if it was like a getting a seat at the table kind of thing, they should have done a better job at showing that, because it really just makes him seem stupid and easy to manipulate and has no conscience of his own. It's just no one in this movie has a conscience, really, and you think Vincente might, but then he just kind of doesn't learn anything. And yes, the whole idea of the court system is rigged against people without power if they're up against people with power. Yes, 100% true. But it's also not something new and shocking that is worthy of its own film, in which the main character learns nothing in the end.
Yeah.
It's just it's such a weird movie. Like I liked it, but it just there's enough there for me to just be like, what is the point of this movie? Like there's really, it feels like there's no point of it, and it's, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, it went from me hating the characters from what they were doing, or for what they were doing, not just because the characters, to me just hating the movie because of how it played out with the characters and just the plot period. It's like. Exactly, that wasn't English because shit didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense, and there's not really.
And I really wanted to like it.
I did too. I did like it for the most part. Like, I think the 6.5 out of 10. I'm probably right around there, if not a little lower. Actually, probably a little lower. Probably more like a 6 out of 10. Even like a 5.5 out of 10. I didn't dislike it. I didn't hate it. It's just a non-movie to me. Like, there's no point to it. There's no great huzzah moment of recollection. It's not. It's kind of like that movie. Well, I'm going to compare it to a movie that it's like, but also not like. That movie. Paul Dano directed it. Wildlife.
Yeah.
The majority of that movie is like a non-movie, where it's just like none of this. I mean, it's a fine movie, but none of it is really saying anything. But Wildlife at the end, the very last shot, wraps the whole movie up in a nice, neat bow. You don't get that with this. It just kind of goes.
It was basically just a real life thing that we hear about every other week.
Yeah, and maybe in Chile, that's like a shocking thing.
Yeah.
If that happened in America, people would just be like,
they'd be like, oh, another rich white guy got away with something.
Oh no.
Gasp.
Oh, shocker.
Surprised.
And then the music going into the end credits try to make it seem like something epic happened.
Yeah.
And which is that's when I kind of knew that the director didn't know what they were trying to say, when they're just like, oh, boom, 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 boom.
They did they did that with the maid, and she like put a mop or I don't remember what it was.
She's put out a fire.
Yeah, she put out a fire, and then as soon as that fire went, I went to black screen.
Yeah, so which is why it makes me think that maybe what they're trying to say is you got to play the game to have a seat at the party, or you're going to be cleaning up their mess like she was.
I wanted to see what people were talking about in this movie, but of course I don't really speak, Spanish or Chile. So
yeah,
I was like
Spanish or Chile.
Yeah, specifically Chile. You gotta have the beans.
Yeah, gotta have the beans.
Jesus,
unless it's a Texas chili.
Yes.
But I mean, it's a fine movie. The acting is solid in it. The writing is honestly where it gets me. It's just, I feel like this has a bigger impact in Chile. I'm sure it does, but here in America, it's just another movie where it's just like, yeah, you're saying things we already know, but you're not providing any answers. Like, so who knows? I don't know. It definitely probably plays different in Chile.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah,
honestly.
same here. So that brings us to the judgment. As always, it needs to be a unanimous decision. Both Glenn and I have to say yes for this to go on the shelf with the likes of Apostle and Handmaiden. Glenjamin Button!
Yes.
You son of a bitch. I love you so much. Does Much Ado About Nothing go on the shelf?
It's funny that you said both of us has to say yes, but do we? No, we don't. Because I'm just saying no. I really wanted to like this movie. I did.
Yeah.
I liked it for a little bit, and then it kind of just, the ending really was just like, well, forget everything that you were hoping for.
Yeah, it builds it up. I'm complete agreement. It's not worthy of the shelf. It's a fine film. If you want an hour and a half to kill with a flat line of a movie, you can check this out. It's not bad by any means, but it just doesn't wow at all. There's nothing there that really wows me. And yeah, if it just did something different at the end,
yep.
I don't know what. I'm not trying to provide answers here, but something needed to happen.
Answers are already too late.
Yeah, something needed to happen and it didn't happen. But yeah, so Much Ado About Nothing, the Chilean film, not the Shakespearean play, does not make it onto the shelves with the likes of Apostle and Handmaiden. That brings us to our plugs for this week. Glenn, do you want to go first or should I?
I can go first. So, listen. All week, and I know what you're saying, Mike. It's only Tuesday. Relax.
You're right. I did say that.
Listen, I've been listening to this song all week. I even posted this thing about it today on Facebook. I was like, man, I barely speak any Spanish, but this song makes me want to hug my abuela. And if you don't know what that is, that's grandmother. Come on, get your shit together, people. So I've actually been trying to broaden my music library here, and just not listen to punk rock or anything all the time. And I've been trying to get into more popular, more today's female artists of now. So I've been listening to Billie Eilish a little bit, and then I remembered Jessie Reyez is a thing who I really enjoy. So I've been listening to her a lot lately, and she has this song, and this is where it connects to movies, guys. Are you ready for this? No. It was music inspired by the film Roma. And she has a song on there called Con el Viento. What it means? I don't know, something in the wind. Not literally, but something in the wind. Let me look it up. God damn it. With the wind. Bada bing. Yes.
Bada boom.
Con el Viento. Jessie Reyez, the song. It's very beautiful in my heart. The lyrics might say otherwise. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. But God, do I want to sing it in the car all the time. So damn beautiful.
What if that song's just about poop?
I would shit myself.
So one more time, what was that song?
Con el Viento by Jessie Reyez from the album Music Inspired by the film Roma.
Ya no tengo nada, ni corazón, ni mi llorada, me dejaste seca.
Oh, cool. So my plug, I believe I probably plugged it last year, but they are coming out with a new season of Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. By the time this episode comes out, it will have released on Apple TV Plus, at least the first episode. I believe they do a one episode a week, John.
You said do.
Stop it. But anyway, this is Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny. or McElhenney. I don't know how he pronounces it. I believe it's McElhenney, but I can't be sure. Rob McElhenney and Charlie Day, along with Megan Gons, have created this show. First season came out last year. You can check that out on Apple TV Plus now. They just released a special episode to celebrate the upcoming season 2, which comes out May 7th. Should be out already if you're listening to this. That is Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet on Apple TV Plus. It's a great show. Apple TV Plus has a few good shows on there that are worth the cheap price, which for some reason they're waiving right now for me. I don't know if they do that for new subscribers, but I haven't paid for it in like 6 months. Yeah, and I'm not gonna. They told me that this is happening, so it's not like it's not something like it's a secret.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, so that is Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet. It is a really funny show, sitcom that is kind of based off an office that works on a World of Warcraft type game, and it's really cool. Highly suggest people check it out. Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet on Apple TV Plus.
There it is.
Oh, how I wish I could be with you to press flesh against flesh.
Okay, no. It's better that he's remote. I'ma hang up. Gotta go big.
That shirt is so tight that I can authentically see your nipples.
Why are you looking at my nipples?
It's hard not to. You're kind of asking for it.
That's victim blaming. You can't blame me.
You are a victim of nothing.
So those are our plugs for this week. That brings us to our assignment for next week. It is my turn to go on with my bad self. I have to double check what this is on. Just bear with me.
Yes, sir.
I believe it is on Hulu.
Who?
Yes. Okay. So this film is on Hulu. It is a Chinese film from 2015. We're doing back-to-back international films.
Ooh.
And this is going to be The Assassin. It is a film that has... I know for a fact that it's got pretty great cinematography, and that is like the main thing that has kind of interested me in this. Just haven't got around to watching it yet. But a female assassin receives a dangerous mission to kill a political leader in 8th century China. It is directed by, and I apologize ahead of time, Xiao Xing Hu, and written by Chang Ah, Tian Wenshu, Xiao Sheng Hu, Ha Meng Shi, and Xing Pei. It is starring Kishu, Chen Chang, Yung Zhu, and Satoshi Sumabuki. And that is on Hulu. It is a cool looking film, and I've been meaning to watch it for a long time, but it hasn't been anywhere.
Well, now we're both going to be able to watch it.
We're both going to be able to watch it. So that is The Assassin on Hulu. Yes.
沙田季安，魏博必来。
如今剑术已成，先断其所爱，然后杀之。
务必小心防备。
Yeah. So thank you everyone for listening, not watching. If you're, are we being watched right now? Why are we being watched right now?
I'm turning around right now.
As always, you can check out our website, www.keystonefilmreview.com. On Instagram, we are Keystone_film_review. Twitter, Keystone_film. Facebook, Keystone Film Review. YouTube, Keystone Film Review. Which hopefully by the time this comes out, we have a Mortal Kombat review. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But on Letterboxd, I'm Mike KFR.
And I'm Glenn KFR.
And that will do it until next week when we assassinated a political leader. We go back in time.
We do it.
And maybe we won't assassinate. It hints that we will.
Maybe we'll just go and check out China.
Yeah. It'd be fun to check out, maybe.
Yeah, I like looking at things.
Yeah, things are cool to look at.
Killing people.
Oh, bye.